What's happening? It's
What's
Danny
going
Boy.
on, sports fans?
Danny Boy, Bill Corpus Crispy, back with you again. Another edition SIP on SIN in a much different location than I usually am. I have to go right to work after this, but I knew we had to do it this show earlier. So uh
And and our schedule is going to be somewhat back to normal.
somewhat, somewhat. We will have a Friday show. We obviously are doing the show on a Monday, so kind of feels good to be back on track for a little while. Obviously, if anything changes, we'll let you know. But for right now, status quo, and that's the way we go about it.
Because
Um,
people, we got to work, we got bills to pay, we got mouths to feed. Ain't
yeah,
nothing in this world for free.
hey,
If you know that song, good for you.
exactly. Um, NBA Finals Game Two. We'll recap that. We'll recap that. Let me get my words correct. We'll recap that. We'll also the big some couple big news in the NFL that we have to get to that came out this morning. We will talk about that. And of course the crummy Yankees can't beat the stupid ass crummy Red Sox. The what a disgraceful loss that was. We'll get
Oh,
to
that was
all that.
embarrassing. That was
That was
freaking
horrible.
embarrassing.
Awful weekend for the pitching, and look, the hitting did its job. We'll talk more about that later. But um, in any case, welcome in number 420 SIP SIN. Let's get things rolling with the NBA Finals Game Two. We talked about how on Thursday the Pacers shocked the Thunder, stealing Game One. Big Tyrese Halliburton coming through. And of course, didn't have a great game. The Pacers were not that great in game one. Well, the same could be said in game two because the Thunder, at least at this time around, when they had a big lead, they didn't relinquish the lead at all. Thunder all over the Pacers 123-107 to take game two. The series is tied at one apiece, Bill. And OKC can breathe for a bit.
Yes, they can breathe for a bit yesterday, because yesterday the Pacers got thunderstruck.
Yeah. Uh,
Thunderstruck, thunder. Da, 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 da. But anyway, Shy Gilgeous Alexander scored 34 points yesterday.
yeah.
Alex Carousel sunk 20 points off the bench. Thunder beating the Pacers 123 to 107. Jalen Williams 19, Aaron Wiggins 18. Halliburton had 17 points.
He was not good. He was
Nah, this was not one of his better games.
no, he's usually better. But you know what it is? And this is the second straight game where the Thunder, uh, for the entire game. Look, if it wasn't for an epic collapse in game one, this would be a 2-0 series lead. And the narrative would have been that this is too much for the Pacers. Because let's be real, these last couple of games have been the Pacers are not even in the same league. They don't deserve to be in the same court as Thunder. Thunder defense was suffocating again last night. Again. Turnovers galore by Indiana. Um, and the Thunder they got big time stops and they grew the lead, I think, to as much as like 23-24, something like that. It was absolutely insane. It was absolutely insane to watch them out basketball. Shea Gilgeous Alexander again scoring 34 points, another 30 plus point game for Shea Gilgeous Alexander. SGA is unbelievable. Um, and hats off to him for once again being the big time scorer that OKC needs. You said Caruso had a tremendous game as well, 20 points. Aaron Wiggins as well, 18 on his own. Jalen Williams coming through big with 19. And then, of course, the Pacers up and down, no more than 17 points. Leading scorer the thread was Halbert. That's not going to win you games, Bill.
No, it isn't. And like I said, Halliburton was kind of quiet yesterday. He
Yeah.
scored 17 points, but
Yeah, he got hot late in the game, like the fourth quarter. So again, it it's not his best. Like usually when we see Halliburton, and look, maybe like I said, maybe this is too much for the Pacers. We're talking about, are they going to be able to compete? And they did well in game one at the end of the game, but throughout the first three quarters, they don't belong on the same court. And that was the same thing to Sunday night.
oh, absolutely. Yeah. And like, here's the thing. Yesterday, his Gilius Alexander's final basket of the night was a history maker. It gave him 3,000 points on the season, including the regular season and playoffs.
Interesting.
And he also it and in this same game, oh, his first basket, not his final basket, misread that, sorry.
You're fine.
And he actually passed our boy Jalen Brunson. He passed our boy Jalen Brunson as the leading overall scorer in the playoffs.
Yeah, but that's expected to happen in this playoffs because of the fact that the OKC went further than the Knicks did. So yeah, that's cool for him. And look, like you said, another 30+ point game. We expect that out of SGA, and um OKC rolling on, and NBA Finals rolling on. Game 3, Wednesday night. I hate these long layoffs. Bill. Hate these long
Yeah,
layoffs.
why in the NBA do they have these like long layoffs? Because I
I
notice in like the World Series, for instance, it's every other day
Yeah,
or 2 days.
right.
Like they have the games back to back, and then they have a travel day, and then they have the next games. So yeah, I don't understand why they.
Yeah, and then in basketball, it's also 2-2-1-1-1 for every series. It's not like baseball where it's 2-3-2, which is what I would prefer. Um, See, it's tough. It's very tough.
Yeah, it's very confusing.
Yeah. So a lot of travel days, long layoffs. It's ridiculous what they do with the NBA finals. In any case. Now Indiana going they now the series shifts to Indiana, with the Pacers having home court. But let's be honest, like I don't think it matters because this OKC team is not like the Knicks or the Cleveland Cavaliers where they got flustered. And you know, didn't really recover after a game one loss. This OKC team knows how to recover after a game one loss. So expect more of the same coming out of the Thunder for the rest of the series.
Oh, I absolutely agree. Like the Thunder after game one, they're probably thinking, "Oh, okay, let's." Because I knew the Thunder were going to even out this game in game two, even out the
Yeah.
series.
Yeah.
And then when we ship off to Indiana, it's going to be a 1-1 series. So game three is Wednesday night. Is that correct?
That's what I have. Yeah. And we will continue to cover all things NBA Finals uh, throughout the series. Um, Look, I still expect it to be a good series. I think the Pacers get at least one in Indiana. I think they get one. I don't think they get both. And if there ever is a game six in Indiana, which I expect there to be. I just don't think it's I think it's a little too much for our friends or Eastern Conference friends, the Pacers. So that's just me. But
That's just you. No, I
yep,
agree.
yeah. Series is tied, one game apiece. Both Thunder and Pacers 3 games away from the championship. Let's see what happens there.
Okay, so yeah, game three, Wednesday night in Indiana. We said this at the start of this. This is gonna be a good series.
Yes.
We're 2 games in, it's already a good series.
Mhm.
All right. So we got some NFL news because, bro, before you know it, it's gonna be football season.
Yeah, we're a little over a month away from training camp, right? So
Yeah, I can't believe it. It's like, when people complain in February after the Super Bowl, football's over. It's like, no, before you know, it's gonna be the draft, then it's gonna be schedule release, and then before you know, it's gonna be training camp. Then before you know it, it's gonna be September 7th.
yeah,
It's gonna be September 7th. It's gonna be opening day or kickoff weekend.
right.
So, folks, it's coming.
Mm.
Just hang on to yourselves here, folks. Hang on to yourselves. Okay, so we got some news here. Reggie, Jair Alexander has been. Now you take it, Reg.
Well, he was released by the Packers um this morning. He was informed. This came out of nowhere. Like I was not necessarily expecting this to happen. I know he did have some injury-filled seasons over the last couple of years, and uh, you know, it, it's just shocking because of how good he is, and he became the highest paid corner when he had that 4-year contract extension back in 2018. Um, Two-time All Pro, and like it's really that big time shoulder injury that has really cost him big time. But 7 seasons with Green Bay, and they give up on the corner. I just feel bad. I was just not expecting this. I was not expecting this to happen at all. And look, I think Green Bay is just going in a new direction with their new team, with this new foundation that they have, and obviously any team would pick up Alexander like nothing. So I hope he gets picked up soon. That's all I could say about that.
Think this is going to be detrimental to the Packers defense?
Well, not necessarily that because he was good, but he's just never healthy. That's the big thing.
No, I can agree with that.
Yeah. So uh, sucks for him. And then of course Nick Chubb, uh, we just found out last night, but more details coming out today that Chubb is expected to sign a 1-year deal with the Houston Texans today. This is obviously pending a physical, but Nick Chubb, who's spent many of his years Cleveland Browns, big time rushing attack, and now he joins the Houston Texans running the back room. Uh, this is a big get for Houston. They can use the big time running game. Nick Chubb is very good at that. Certainly has helped my fantasy numbers over the years. So
He's not mine too when I've had him.
exactly. Um, what do you think about this, Bill? What's your honest thoughts about it?
About Nick Chubb,
Yeah,
I think he could really help bolster the Texans' run game a little bit.
yeah,
So I think he would be a awesome addition. He could, with Joe Mixon, with Joe with Joe Mixon, Damian
exactly,
Pierce, and what was that?
exactly. That was my point. Yeah, go
Damian
ahead.
Pierce and Dare. and Dare Ogunbowale. This could be a. I actually think this could give a nice boost.
Yeah, yeah, not necessarily the best running back room in the game, but enough to give you an explosive offense for sure. This is obviously adding a big time back to uh the offense is always huge no matter what team he's on. So I think it's great for Houston. It's only gonna there's really no it's a 1 year deal too. So there's really in my honest opinion, there's no reason not to do it.
Yeah, but the one thing with mixed with Chubb is he's got issues with injuries.
Yeah, but you're not asking him to be the guy. We have Joe Mixon for that.
They're asking him to be a guy,
Exactly. Right.
not the guy.
Right. So even if he does sit out for a couple games, you still have Joe Mixon.
Yeah, you'll still have Mixon if he's out,
Yeah.
but the concern is you cannot dismiss the injury concern here
You
though.
can't dismiss the injury concerns. However, if you by joining him by with him joining the room, it gives you another rushing attack besides Mixon. And it just adds to the Houston offense. It's a good move and it's a low risk. It's only 1 year.
Well, if you only sign 1 year, you're good to go.
Yeah. So again, pending a physical, uh, Nick Chubb to the Houston Texans.
So yeah, Houston Texans getting a new gain to their running back, and yeah, we'll see. We will see where things go from here.
Yeah.
And yeah, so welcome to Houston, Nick Chubb. Okay, what do we got next?
Well, we talked about the Yankees a little bit.
First, okay,
Well,
first of all, go see our new Bombers banter. We did it yesterday.
yep.
Just a fair warning, both of us predicted that the Yankees were going to win last night, so it's a little outdated. And by outdated, we mean about 21 hours. So
Yeah.
go check that, go check that out. Go check it out. Um, okay. So what was I saying? I'm sorry. I'm all over the place. I'm
Well,
getting work emails coming in. Um, anyway.
it's all right. The Yankees lost again, 11-7. Disgraceful, but two home runs off of Aaron Judge last night. That's the best highlight of the night, right?
Yes, that is
um,
the and he because last night Hunter Dobbins, okay, like we said, the Red Sox won, so
yeah,
let's not sit here and cheer. Let's not sit here and cheer.
yeah. Like once again, they got punked again. Aaron Boone having a tough weekend managing the squad, so yeah, it was pretty bad. So like, it is what it is.
But Hunter Dobbins got to eat a big old slice of humble pie last night.
Yeah.
Hunter Dobbins got to eat a big old slice of humble pie last night. In which, okay, for those of you who don't know what happened, boss Hunter Dobbins, who is a lifelong Red Sox fan. Oh
Yep.
yeah, he's from Texas. Oh God,
Mhm.
watch if he's a Cowboys fan too.
That'd be funny, right?
That is my worst nightmare right there.
Yeah, exactly.
A Red Sox Cowboy fan. That would be like old ops guy's nightmare being a Braves and Eagles fan or a Braves and Giants fan. Well, actually, he's already got the Philly thing packed down because, Eagles, he hates the Eagle. As a Cowboy fan, he hates the Eagles. As a Met fan, he hates the Phillies. But anyway, um, Hunter Dobbins told the Boston Herald that he would rather retire if the Yankees were the last team to give him a contract.
Yeah, the official quote. My dad was a diehard Red Sox fan, and I've said it before that if the Yankees were the last team to give me a contract, I'd retire. And then, of course, the Yankees were responding all over. Aaron Judge didn't see any of that, obviously, but he hit a home run off of it. It was a first pitch ball that went absolutely. It was destroyed into the bleachers. I mean, you know, and look, Dobbins got the last laugh because I think he got the win because, of course, the Red Sox, the inning after the Yankees took the lead 3-2 and stuff, it was a DJ LeMahieu home run. The Red Sox responded with a 3-run shot of their own to get in the lead for good. So, we really shouldn't be talking much about it because of the fact that the Red Sox won the game.
I
But
think that's a pretty much moot point.
yeah, but at the same time, it was also very nice for Dobbins for even just for a little bit. Even look, the Yankees lost, but even just for a little bit to get a little taste of his own medicine. Stop talking your shit and whatever. But Yankees didn't respond the way we wanted it to. They lost the series against Boston. They now move on to Kansas City. It's a disgrace. It's a disaster. And they
Now,
need they need a bounce back series. They need a bounce back series against KC. KC,
because
we talked about it yesterday on Bombers Banter. They're tough, but they're not great.
yeah, but you know what? We also say this though, Reggie, that this coming weekend the Yankees go up to Boston.
Yeah.
And we were singing yesterday because we thought the Yankees were going to win the series yesterday. We thought the Yankees were going to win the series.
Yeah.
And Boston was going to have payback, but I think now the Yankees
Mm-hmm.
they're going to be shipping up to Boston.
Yeah.
They're going to be shipping up to Boston and they're going to be thinking, "Hey, guess what? You embarrassed us on our home turf. I think it's time we return the favor." Because the Yankees are going to be shipping up to Boston. Whoa. With fire in their eyes.
Yeah.
They're going to be shipping up there with fire in their eyes.
We'll see, man. I mean, I don't know. Like every time the Yankees face Boston, I just don't know what happens. That every time they seem to be punked out of the building, whether it's on their home turf or whether it's in Fenway. They always get punked by the Red Sox. It's very frustrating to watch.
But I remember though, Reg, last year when I went up to see the Yankees play the Red Sox in Boston, y'all heard that story. But I remember the Yankees won that series. They took 2 out of 3. I remember they lost the Friday game.
Yep.
And then I was at the Saturday game, which was the game they won, and probably the best game I've been to.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
Yeah, that was a good game.
oh, I'm never gonna forget it though, Reggie. When right before that pitch that was supposed to be the end of the game, the Sox fans were going, "Yankees suck, Yankees suck," and then Grisham hits an RBI double, run scores, and then I remember when Yankees win in extra innings. I remember I was yelling, "It's the Bronx! It's Beantown! Yankee Universe has taken over Red Sox Nation!" But yeah, it was no, but the Yankees can. I think the Yankees can win in Fenway. They have
Yeah.
before.
Yeah, no, it's not about that. It's just that every time, like I have a lot of concerns when Boone manages against Cora. I have a lot of concerns
Or outmanages him.
every single time, every single time, and it's embarrassing. It is embarrassing. We still got games against Boston. I'm not too worried about it, but still, it's just very frustrating. It's very frustrating to see that. Um, they need a bounce back series against Kansas City Royals before they go off to Boston and uh have that big series. So see what happens with that. Um, highlights, like I said, Aaron Judge, great series, bunch of home
Oh, he had a good
runs.
series.
LeMayu drove in runs again. We're very happy to see that. Um, I like Carlos Rodon for the first 5 innings. Then he started giving up home runs, and that was it. Like there's another thing about Rodon. While we give him credit, he's been very solid pretty much the entire season. We talked about how he gets flustered,
And this was
right?
one of those
This is
times.
one of those times. Like it seems like every time he starts to lose the control, every time he starts to lose that control, that's when um he gets very, very frustrated on the mound and starts leaving things more up, starts hanging the sliders. It's a mess. It's a real mess. And Boston really took advantage of that.
No, they actually did take advantage of that. They hit Rodon where it hurts.
Yeah, it was tough. It was tough.
Yeah, so there we go, folks. The first Yankee Red Sox series, round one, unfortunately goes to Boston.
Yep. And
The Red Sox hit what, 5 home runs yesterday?
4 or 5, yeah, something like that. That makes sense.
Hold on, I'm gonna check that.
Yeah. Something outrageous like that. Yeah.
Hold on, I'm gonna check right now. Okay, let's see.
For those of you paying attention, it is Max Fried on the mound in Kansas City versus Noah Cameron. So,
One, two, three,
uh,
4, 5. 5 home runs.
5 home runs. Yeah, I mean, look, I lost count. I lost count after the 3 run home run. I didn't care. You know,
No, like I was watching it, and then when it was like 5:36 or 7:03, I was like, yeah, turn this off for a bit. And then when I
yeah,
turned
yeah,
it
pretty.
on,
Yeah, go ahead.
it looks like the Yankees were biting back. It was 7-5. I'm like, ooh.
No, 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 no.
Then all my
The
hopes and dreams were dashed.
the second we saw that Trevor Story home run,
In the
that's when
eighth, it was
I'm
done.
sorry. Like I couldn't. Like what are we doing? Like nah, I was done. So uh, it's all right. Max Fried's on the mound Tuesday. We'll bounce back. Hopefully.
Yeah, but this is what the Yankees need right now. They need a bounce back series.
Yeah.
Because then again, this weekend we got to go up to Boston.
Yep.
Okay, so
And what did I say, Bill? The turn of the month. It's always the turn of the month where the Yankees seem to start to struggle a bit. They're not playing terrible, but starting to sense like it's not going to be as great as May was. May was fantastic. In any case, go ahead. Sorry.
no, but no, they go up to. No, you're right. But then we got to go up to Boston. We got to ship up to Boston, and then we gotta face the Red Sox again.
Yeah.
Then we gotta face the Red Sox again, and then yeah. Well, you know what? Yeah, what I said yesterday should be an easy month for the Yankees. Was I wrong on that one, Reg? Was I wrong on that one?
Well, it could still very well be a month where they cruise, but it could also go the other direction.
Oh, you're 100% correct. You're 100% correct. Like this could go, like they could cruise or they can crash.
Exactly.
I think they're still semi-cruising, but they're not.
Yeah. I mean, they're 5-5 in their last 10, while the rest of the American League East, they're doing much better. Baltimore 7-3, Toronto's 8-2, Tampa Bay 7-3. So now they're starting to sort of climb because of this bad weekend with the Yankee pitching, bad weekend, Yankees in general, losing 2 out of 3. The teams gain ground. Teams started to gain ground a bit. So the lead is not as big as it once was. Tough, tough.
Tough weekend in the Bronx.
Yeah.
But we'll see what happens. Okay. Anything else?
Well, that's all I got.
Yeah, that's all I got too.
Yeah.
You know what's the weird time? Oh, real quick, but we know the breakaway guys are going to cover this.
Yeah.
Game three of the Stanley Cup Finals tonight between the Oilers and Panthers. It's a tied game. It's a tied. It's a tied series 1-1.
Yeah.
So so check out. So yeah, that's going to be game three tonight. It's a tied series. Like I said, the break we haven't really been talking about it here. Hockey's not really our thing.
Yeah.
So
But I did enjoy the doubled overtime madness though. That was
ooh.
game two. Like it was really wild. Brad Marchand was the one that netted the goal in game two. And that tied the series and sent Florida into a frenzy, Edmonton into absolute not necessarily panic mode, but stressed. They're now stressed out. Everything.
Me of the madness. Mad, mad, mad. Mad, mad, mad. Yeah, like I said, if you want to know more about that, go check out the Breakaway Bandits. They'll cover.
Yeah.
I'm sure they'll be covering that.
Yeah. Stanley Cup, the finals game three.
Okay, dude, I think that's pretty much it for today.
Yeah, man. If you like what you see, you can like, comment, subscribe. Please hit that button for the notifications. Follow our socials at Insanity Real, Facebook, and X. Log on to our website, thesportsinsanitynetwork.com.
Yeah, and like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell here on our YouTube page. You got this, you got 1-1, you got Bombers Banter, which we do every month. So check that out. And for Danny Boy Reg, I'm Bill Corpus Crispy Murphy. Stay safe, take care.
Peace and love.